Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. It's 7 a.m. in London time and I want to give a very quick update because I'm seeing some developments in here, particularly with this green candle on the 4 hour. It's going to be a short update. Remember that the evening update today is in the Coin Bureau Trading channel. Remember to subscribe that channel as well. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I put out one of these videos. Yesterday's video did 300 likes, not as much as the 500 likes that we got in the Uncovering the Trap, which was the video that I promised that if we get to 500, I'm gonna sing the song. And you tricky guys put it just to 514 likes just so we can get that done. And I'm gonna get that out of the way this week and record the song and upload it to Twitter. I'm sure we're gonna have a laugh. So let's go very quickly to that update. As you can see on CME, we managed to take out of the way the gap that we put on the weekend of the 27th of October. This is fantastic because this was pending business that needed to be taken care of, and you can see that the price was pretty precise in taking out all that liquidity. We mentioned 67 to 80 and it went to 67,145 priced on CME. Remember that CME is more expensive than traditional exchanges, spot and futures. After taking the CME, the price is bouncing back up to $69,100 on CME again. That's pretty much $2,000 up. So it's pretty tempting at this point in time to start thinking, did we just have to go for the CME gap and are we just going to go up? And I think that's the $1,000,000 question at the moment. So let's have a look at some other evidence that we are having of some potential upside at the moment. I guess if this was a typical day, a normal day, no elections, no rate cuts within the same week, when we had the breakout right there at 1 a.m. on the 4th of November, this one, I will have already posted that on Twitter, Telegram and Instagram, and I will be pretty excited with the potential for big upside. But since we have been since end of October seeing fake outs to both sides, and I'm well aware that today are the elections, I'm expecting to see many more fake outs. And yesterday we were not wrong. Indeed, this came to retest RSI 40, then it put a lower low, and then it came back inside the range at 34. At that point, we had the line placed like this. This was really rare behavior for RSI. We not used to see this kind of things, but we were prepared for that. We talked about that before it happened. When we were around here in my previous video, I told you this can be a fake out. And indeed it was, but relative to the previous fake out is now putting a higher low and a higher high. We still have 52 minutes to confirm this candle, and as you can see, this on the 4 hour could be some sort of bottoming formation, and particularly the fact that it's breaking also this trend line and not just the descending one, it is showing strength. Unfortunately, I wouldn't take this swing trade because it's election day, number one. Number two, because we are below the resistance at 68.8. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times it was resistance, 6 times in this area. It was support early November as well. I'm not saying we are not gonna be able to go above this, but I'm expecting election day to pretty much go all over the place a few more times. We need to be ready as well for the idea of a sell the news or a reversal. Well, in this case, sell the news doesn't make much sense because we have seen already the price retracing 9%. But be prepared for both manipulative scenarios. One scenario could be that we go slightly lower, we hit the 65k liquidity and we bounce aggressively to the upside, trapping loads of shorts. If we go to 65, probably I will go to this chart and see if this liquidity becomes red, and after taking the 65, which is roughly around here, if there is enough motivation, we could see a bounce very aggressively to the upside. That is just one scenario. It's not the only one, it's not the more likely either, but it's worth being prepared for that too. Another scenario is if people don't like the elections and for some reason you still see the price rallying into the scene of the crime here, forming a double top and then seeing a deeper correction. My point is, keep your mind open and don't just think up or down only. Don't think resolution of election means one clear direction from the moment you know the results, because that's how people get trapped. It can still happen, so also keep your mind open for that. And I think it's very important now that we are seeing a potential potential for upside to see if in the upcoming hours this just becomes another fake out. And before knowing the results, if the price starts rallying, you might miss this bottom, the one that we could be forming right now. But if you don't enter at the very early stages of the bottom, if we start seeing signs that this move won't hold and you enter late, you might enter at the precise moment where it starts faking you out and coming back down. So I think the options are to enter on the confirmation of this breakout, assuming it can be manipulative, but taking the advantage that is an early one, but be with a hand in the trade right there and accept the fact that you might have to exit, and even that exit might be the wrong one. It's pretty tricky. It is an election day. What do you expect? On the daily, we seem to be very close to the bouncing point of this channel. So it is a positive area to trade because it's support on the daily. That support on the daily is also evident from this line I have drawn there at 67. We hit the 67, we took the CME, and we are heading now to the next resistance, which is 69. We talk about 69 being one of the most bullish areas of support if we reverse there. We didn't, but if we have had this as support, it will have made perfect sense, and now is our next resistance. Then we have the 70k. So sure, it's early because we are in the process of confirming the breakout of the 4 hour, but relative to the support at 67 is late. And in the previous days, I was talking about 67 attracting the price, liquidations being there, and some people on Telegram in my channel were talking about placing orders at 67. If you did enter at 67, you're already 2k in profits, in which case getting this confirmed might give you additional reassurance that you have still some upside. Just be aware that you are against resistance as well, and there is still 45 minutes for this to confirm, and during those 45 minutes this might retrace below that line and turn it into the resistance once again. We already look at the liquidity on the scalping chart, and we already have pretty much a plan of what could happen if the W pattern doesn't complete or doesn't work out as expected. Remember that the targets that this W pattern has is roughly 71k, but here there's not a lot of liquidity, so the only way that this can succeed and continue going higher is if there's complete confirmation that people are happy with the results of the election, because in that case, yes, that is the path to the big price in here, which starts now from 73.8. But if we don't have that narrative in between, there is nothing. So if the price is now trying to convince us that it can break out, we better have full confidence that the winner is pro Bitcoin. Otherwise, the 65 here is ready to take out all the longs that are even thinking about entering this W pattern. So whether you are entering in here or you are entering in the breakout, you are just being part of the people that are accumulating stop losses in that area that is already packed with red and is already juicy enough for market maker to dump, as long as there's still not confidence of who is the winner of the elections. And I'm not saying that Bitcoin cannot survive either candidate. In the long run, sure. In 2025, can we have a rally with either of them? Yes. But in the short term, it seems to be the common agreement that getting a candidate to win that is not fully committed publicly to Bitcoin is a reason enough to have a decent pullback. And yes, many traders might be looking for this particular pattern in here that could be the recipe to get as high as 73.880 and continue consuming that. And you can be, if you are well versed into management of risk, this could be a good play either way if you know how to do that. If you are a beginner and you enter here, I'm sure that trading on election day will hurt. When it comes to the alpha, you can see that the delta long continues to be in an area that is pretty juicy, is support, is excessive amount of shorts, and we are still here. We are heading up towards the next resistance, which is when we typically confirm the breakout to the upside to start hitting all the shorts. But as I say, we are in an election and we are expecting that things are not gonna play out as easy as the previous 4 setups. So you could see something like this and still coming back down if people see a full disappointment in the outcome. If you're not prepared for that, it means that you're not really paying attention to where are we today. And I think we need to look into the fair value gaps, because you can see in here that the span of the price, apart ignoring just this 68.1, which is a fair value gap that we just put 4 hours ago, we really don't have anything to the upside up until 71.6 or below 64.8. So get used to the idea of today seeing additional volatility, and don't count just on a single one and I was right, or it went up, it went down. People that think like that are screaming with a huge t-shirt saying I'm a beginner and I have no clue what I'm doing. Price today could easily do this and then this and then that, or this and that. Don't know. The delta is also loaded with red. I have to admit that at this point in time, at least for the first movement, we seem to be ready for some upside. Now take that once again with a grain of salt, because of the day we are. It's the toughest week probably to trade in the past 6 months, I will say. Price continues to be inside the CPR pivots without yet deciding what's gonna be the next direction. And it's positive to see finally a day in green. This is the first day in green that we have since Wednesday 30 of October. We had 6 days in a row already in red, and we have accumulated pretty much enough delta to at least see a dead cat bounce into 71k or somewhere in the 50% or golden pocket area. But I'm gonna take a step back here because I think that the last word for what happens during the day is gonna have to do with the election. And I'm not saying that if we look at the liquidity we won't be able to anticipate something. I am just saying that at this point in time, with what we are seeing in the liquidity, in the order books, things are pretty balanced between bears and bulls. But once we identify 100% a clear edge, I will publish it to Twitter, Telegram and Instagram as soon as I see it. So far, this is what we have, and I hope you appreciate it at 7 a.m. on election day while having my coffee. I'll see you later. Bye bye. I won't keep you very long. Consider looking at the links in the description. I have the best collection of crypto products. If you want an exchange to open an account very quickly, look at Blowfin. Here is the link. Bybit gives you the largest bonus but requires KYC. And if you want to have a look at that delta, you need Hyblo Capital, this link in here. I just realized I don't have a link for Trading Light. I'm gonna get one and add it here as well, since that's the one that is giving you this particular chart that I'm finding pretty useful these days. Time to say goodbye. Bye.